Let's talk about President Biden, and let's talk about his record low approval ratings. So President Biden has been rolling out this new plan for America, again calling it by President Putin's price hike, and plans to roll out additional incentives at the White House to make sure that you're not paying for as much as possible. But now inflation is getting so out of hand that his approval ratings are so low that I don't know that he's going to be able to get back from this. Even Joe Manchin, Democrat Joe Manchin, is speaking out against this. He wonders, how bad is it going to get? How much further can this go?
Index of 10.6%. Even Joe Manchin, a Democrat, is slamming the administration for this slow response on inflation. He writes, "When will this end? It is a disservice to the American people to act as if inflation is a new phenomenon. The American people deserve the truth about why record inflation is happening." Former Council of Economic Advisors Chairman Kevin Hassett was with me yesterday.
So why is this happening?
Well, okay. What are you saying? What is happening? Because the inflation number we're going to talk about next, but why is Joe Biden's low approval rating happening?
Why? He asked the question, Joe Manchin asked the question, why is this inflation happening? And like, you really want the answer, Joe? Like, Joe, both of Joes? You really want the answer?
Well, I think it's fair for him to ask because he has not been one who's approving government spending, right?
Joe Manchin picking and choosing the government spending.
Fine, but he can ask saying, I'm not the one who wanted to do all of this spending, right? So, okay, fair enough, right? We can skip to the next. You want to talk about inflation? We can.
Where?
Well, we're supposed to talk about that next, but specifically, we're talking about Joe Biden.
Right. Which is all tied to this.
Okay, so let's talk about those together.
Okay.
So the president's approval rating now is at 38%, which is really, really low. Anytime even President Trump, who the media loved to tell you how much everybody hated him, was still like in the low 40s, and in the 30s is when they were really salivating. Like, everyone hates Trump. We told you, right? Now the media seems to cover Biden's low approval rating as like, well, maybe it's the economy. We don't know, because the media wants you to love Joe Biden. Well, I'm not telling you how to feel at all, but I do think that there's a difference in tone that is worth noting, right? But when you break it down piece by piece, what are the things that people specifically give him a low rating on? The economy is probably the one thing that people find the most upsetting. 38% with only 38% approve. That means 53% disapprove. But when it comes to his handling of the war, that's the thing he's rated the highest on. So 40% of people approve how he has handled and I'm specifically talking about the war in Ukraine. We should remember there are about a dozen wars raging right now. But specifically, this is the one the media is focused on. And his new proposal to tax unrealized gains split the country with 43% in favor. I would say those 43% don't actually understand what that is, but maybe they do, and they still support it. If so, I have many questions for you. But yes, it really was the economy that he's trending so low on.
I mean, one Democratic strategist is saying this is going to be a biblical disaster, the midterm elections. The reality is, he says, we are in as Democrats, and no one wants to face it. That this is the reality we're in, and no one wants to face it.
I don't know, though. Can we make it a them? Do we have to make it so polarized? Because Trump's approval rating was low, Biden's approval rating is low. Maybe it's just that all Americans don't trust either side.
I mean, the overall, yes, many Americans don't support either party. I mean, there's over 100 million Americans don't vote because they hate either party. There's a huge opportunity for people to reach out and to capture those people, but they don't. They want to keep this slim. They want to keep this, us fighting each other. Yeah. That's the way it is. They say the jobs argument isn't resonating with voters who are paying higher prices at the grocery store. They're getting hit in the wallet on everyday items, and they're seeing it. And remember, you go back to James Carville, who, of course, was President Clinton's advisor back in the day and campaign advisor, and brilliantly said and had it up in the war room when he was running for president at the time against George H.W. Bush. It said, "It's the economy, stupid." That's it. It was one simple phrase. It was on the war room in the Clinton strategy area that said it's the economy, stupid. Always keep it about the economy. And that's what it is. That's what all, at the end of the day, that's all Americans care about. They care about their families. They care about the amount of money that it costs them to take their kids to soccer practice. They care about how much money it costs to put dinner on the table. That's it. And, again, they can see the phony propaganda that's being fed to them on television.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. They can try to spin as much propaganda as they want about how it affects you and your family. They can try the Putin price hike bullshit. They can try all of these things that make no sense and are not accurate. It doesn't matter because you feel it at home. You feel it at the gas pump. You feel it in your own paycheck. You see how much your rent is. You know that it's going up, right? Those are the things they can't fudge. But propaganda, they can absolutely fudge this war.
Yes.
They can give you this propaganda and tell you what to think about Ukraine, about Putin, about what missiles and money are being sent to help these poor Ukrainian children, et
Yes.
cetera. They can absolutely use the propaganda machine to do that. And that's why foreign policy has always helped a president's approval ratings. It can sink it or it can make it rise. And they have so much more control over foreign policy propaganda than they do economic propaganda that's affecting you and your family.